Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Colleen Denzler. She is the VP, Head of ESG at Loomis Sayles. Colleen, it's fantastic to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
It's so great to be here. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. So now let's start off by talking about Loomis Sayles. Tell me, how does Loomis Sayles view the role of climate change in shaping investment strategies?
It's a very significant effect because climate change is one of the biggest secular trends we've experienced in decades, maybe even forever. And so for us as investors, it's very, very important to consider how that might impact both our research, our engagement with companies, and most importantly, the valuation that we place on the companies that we invest in. So it's very important.
Now, how does Loomis Sayles leverage its ESG capabilities to meet the specific requirements of its clients?
So the way that we look at it, if you will, our philosophy is that we practice ESG integration for the purpose of financial materiality in service of our fiduciary duty. Now, that sounds like a tagline. It kind of is, but it's really our philosophy. And to explain what that means, integration means that I have a very small team on the ESG side because the investors at Loomis Sayles actually incorporate these factors into their process. So whether it's the analysts or the portfolio managers, it's not a separate team conducting this research, it's the actual investors. And then financial materiality is just what it sounds like, that we're looking to make sure that we understand how ESG or climate change affects our companies. And the financial materiality is really what investment people focus on and what our clients expect of us. And then obviously we're fiduciaries, so everything we do has to be considered in the realm of our fiduciary responsibilities. So that's how we look at it.
Now tell me, how does the firm ensure a comprehensive understanding of financially material factors, including ESG aspects, in its investment process?
So we have both fixed income and equities at our firm. So on the fixed income side, we start with a focus on materiality mapping. And that's something that my team works in partnership with our analysts to go through every single sector and determine what's important, what's going to move the needle, what will impact valuation. And we just finished a 2-year project to enhance our materiality maps. It was so much fun. I know I'm a geek, but I loved it. And once we enhanced that process, then we were able to even more deeply focus on the differences at the company level. Is who might be in a position to be a winner, who might be in a position for us to engage with them, to ask them to understand factors that we think are important. We also have equity teams, and the equity teams, what's so interesting to me about that is organically they have a very long time horizon. They're all long-term investors. So a 40-year time horizon is quite natural for them, which is really kind of the climate transition time horizon. And when we look at companies on the equity side, we do intensive research and intensive engagement with them even before we consider putting them in the portfolio. So it's a really holistic, full approach to the supply chain and the sector in which the equity teams are investing.
And finally, Colleen, talk about your 4 pillars, your 4 key pillars of ESG integration and how they influence both research and investment decisions.
So we spent the first 9 months of my arrival really honing in on how are we going to implement our philosophy. And what's so great about Loomis is that after 9 months of intensive work, we were exactly where we started, and that was research, valuation, engagement, and client focus. And what's so important about those 4 pillars is that obviously research, we're fundamental investors, both in fixed and equity securities. So research is the beginning of everything. I already spoke about valuation being so critical in understanding financially material factors. And then engagement is where we talk to our companies and we say, this is what we're seeing. What do you think about this? Maybe you could focus a little bit more on this particular aspect that we think is important. And then finally, client focus. I mentioned that financial materiality is our home base, but we have clients all over the world that want more than just financial materiality. They want what's called double materiality and really looking at how the investments impact the community. And we're able to do that with some of our teams for our European and international clients, and in the US too. We have many clients who want this focus. And because we're a customized shop, institutionally focused as well as retail, we're able to, for the most part, work with our teams to help meet those client needs. So that's why client focus is the fourth pillar of our philosophy.
All right. Well, Colleen, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
You too. I appreciate being here, and what a cool setting. Thank you.